You guys all standing up? You standing up, ShadowForks?
Yeah, I'm standing up. I adjusted my mic.
We're both
Sure.
We're both at we're all standing up here.
We are all at half-mast, as the phrase goes.
I'm pulling a picture of the flag up, and
I'm pulling up a picture of Tibet as well. I mean, a flag of America.
Yeah, the American flag. Make sure you got it up.
Red, white, and blue.
Red, white, and
very
blue.
recognizable.
All right.
We got a. Okay, you guys ready to start?
The old stars and stripes. I'm ready.
You ready, ShadowForks?
Yeah,
how we start every
I just
episode.
found a photo of 3 girls wrapped in an American flag, and it just blew my mind.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah, that's good.
You can still,
Okay.
you can do
I
it.
can still look at that. Okay, thanks.
Okay, we're gonna start. You ready?
All right.
All right.
I
pledge allegiance
to the flag
of
the United States of America. And to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible,
with
liberty and justice for all.
With liberty and justice for all.
Great job, guys.
We nailed it. We did it.
Make him away, Ty.
Welcome to Thought Cops, the only podcast where every week we talk about what's outraging the internet, and then we let you be the judge, we let you be the jury, we let you be the executioner too in the court of public opinion. Coming to you live from Neo, Chicago. I'm Officer Kevin.
And I'm Officer Grant.
Woo! Thank you to our guest from last week, Ian Erickson. What a guy. What a thrill.
I was holding the can of beer and I couldn't clap at the same time, so
I didn't clap. I'm so sorry.
Oh man, Ian's gonna be so heartbroken.
Zwick, you can go ahead and throw in twice as many claps for Ian.
Twice as
There it is.
There you go. Yeah.
You just heard a lot. You just heard a massive theater of clapping for Ian. Anyway, that voice you're hearing now is a brand new guest to the Thought Cops family, Danny ShadowForks Thompson. What's up, Danny?
It's going great. It's so sunny, except until today it started to rain a bunch, and I feel like it's reflective of my mood right now. Yeah.
Well, now I feel sad.
Yeah, you're
me
welcome.
too.
That's why I'm here at Thought Cops.
Well, I just want to say that I'm only happy when it rains.
I don't like people like that. Doesn't that make you mad when people say that?
And
'Cause it makes me
I only
mad.
wear my sunglasses at night.
Okay, all right.
Anything else? Any other
hot takes?
Zombie. Hey.
You know, every time that song shows up in my YouTube recommendations, I just look at the comments and it's like, this is a classic.
Yeah. I was born in the wrong generation.
weren't
It's
we
like
all?
this song was covered by 9 different bands, and I don't know who did the song still. Like,
You know what sucks?
the Blueberries.
Knowing
Blueberries?
knowing the original artist that did a song and then getting into arguments with people over it, and people are like, "No, I'm pretty sure Johnny Cash did that song. Johnny Cash has been around for longer than 9 Inch Nails," and you're like, "No, you idiot! When will you learn?
When will you people learn?
When will you learn?"
my least favorite.
Consequences.
Oh, I missed something.
Sorry, Danny, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. My favorite example of that was the first time it ever happened when, like, I was in middle school and I was listening to Smooth Criminal by Michael Jackson. This was before I understood what that man had done. But
Yeah.
Right.
I was
Before we all did.
Before we all did. I was listening to it and someone was like, well, that's a bad cover of that song. I was like, what are you talking about? And then they showed me I think it's like Ant Farm version.
Alien
Ant Farm. And I was like, that is not the original version. And they were so like mad that I said that.
Wow.
And I don't think they ever talked to me ever again. So David, if you're out there, I'm sorry, but you were wrong. And my life is better that you stopped talking to me. Maybe. Just kidding.
That may or may not have been the reason, but let's just, for now, let's believe that it was.
Yeah, so
Yes.
so Mr. Forks, as it were,
As they call me.
you got yourself a YouTube channel.
Yes.
Tell us a little about it. What you do, what you talk about.
Well,
et cetera,
yeah.
et
So
cetera.
I haven't uploaded in a month, but
well.
I do video game reviews. I do stuff on politics, video essays. My main thing is that I write articles for video game websites. So I'm what the kids call a filthy games journalist. And everyone asks me about the ethics in games journalism. And yeah, it's just so much fun. I totally felt like it was a better use of my time than doing YouTube. No, I love every second of it. It's gotten me many places. But yeah, my YouTube channel, ShadowForks Games, is what it's called, even though I don't typically always do game content. If I want to talk about movies, I talk about movies. If I have a piece on television, I'll do a piece on television. If I am into Death Note the musical, a canceled Death Note musical.
Yeah, I saw that one. Yeah,
Yeah, I wanted
Then-
I was actually just looking at that.
I spent nearly 2 months working on that video, and I worked on the script for 2 years. I
Jeez.
love that video. That's my favorite video. Everyone should check Death Note the musical out. It's the best way to experience that story. But yeah, I kind of like my next video. I posted a poll on Twitter that you can participate in if you're listening to this live. It'll be done by the time this is up, most likely. But I have a whole bunch of like E3 articles and opinions and everything. So I was thinking I have like enough material for nearly a 3-hour video or a dozen videos. And so it's like, do I make my first feature film or do I make a dozen videos? And so far everyone's like, you're an idiot if you decide to do a 3-hour video. But I think it's a smart idea. So please support me in my feature length film.
I really think it depends. I mean, there's
It doesn't.
Like according to sort of YouTube metrics and stuff,
Yes.
I think you'd be smarter to put out like 12 different videos or whatever. But there's
Easily.
been some amazing fucking like 3+ hour long videos that I'll sit there and I'll watch fucking the entire thing, you know?
or you could do 5,000 TikToks.
Oh, speaking of TikTok, at E3, I did a Laugh You Lose challenge for TikTok. I won TikTok shirts, and it was just me sitting in a chair for 15 minutes watching
laughing.
TikToks. And the closest I got to laughing, the guy next to me lost, and he was in hysterics. And I was like, "What got you?" And he was like, he looked at me dead in the eye, still laughing. I was like, "I didn't know a llama could look like that." And I almost lost it. That was the hardest moment of that challenge.
It
Was that guy saying that?
Like, sit
It
in
was
this chair for
terrifying.
15 minutes and don't fucking laugh. Yeah, but you mentioned, unless you had...
So Peter in the chat says, as someone who's been unemployed and watching long form YouTube for 2 months, do the long form. Also, as someone who has been hooked on TikTok for that same period of time, don't make TikToks about it.
So speaking of one really long video everyone should watch is, I think it's called Metal Gear Solid 4 was a disaster is what it was called, but it's like a 3.5 hour video essay. And the guy talks so fast that whatever he wrote to do that was probably as long as a novel. Like he
Probably
could
as long as a Metal Gear Solid 4 cutscene.
Oh, wow. Got him.
Got him.
That's a really good video. It's by Steak Bentley. Definitely check that video out. It's very good. But yeah, I love long form YouTube content so much.
Well, that being said, you just got back from E3. Did you
Yeah.
have any wacky stories? Any heated gaming moments?
Oh, no.
Any? Did you? What's Luigi like in person?
So I saw Luigi, and he was so scared because if you remember,
was his bump as big in person as it was in that Mario Tennis video?
Yes. Wow. The answer is yes. He also had a goo version of him, which is just so. I don't know how to explain it, but I
have a goo version of me, but I don't like to tell people about it.
You know, Nintendo calls him Gooigi. And that's like the worst thing that has ever happened.
God bless them.
But yeah, he was very scared. There's a lot of ghosts in his new mansion, which is a hotel. That game is surprisingly great. That was Nintendo's best game.
I love
the original one,
Luigi's Mansion.
Yeah. It's as they're trying to be as creative as the first one in terms of like making each of the bosses have like a personality and the enemies have personality. But the demo I saw, for example, it was an area that was themed after a medieval era, and the ghost was this very narcissistic ghost who had a king's crown, and he was jousting you in a stadium, but no one actually cares about this ghost. So he had cardboard cutouts of people watching him fight Luigi.
This is like psychologically like horrifying.
Yeah.
David Lynch's Luigi's Mansion.
His mansion. Wow, I'd be there for
I got some questions in the chat here. Lars wants to know, you just came in from E3. He says, are the rights of gamer Americans being threatened?
Yes. That's all I have to say about that. I want you guys to know that there's a lot of racial is in like the color of your skin or your like nationality. I mean that
I see where this is going. Yeah,
people can buy their way into E3 and they get what's called gamer passes, and you pay like $250. You have limited access to the show, as in like there are media hours which they are separated from, and those people have orange badges, like bright orange badges, and so everyone steered clear of those people. But I befriended the gamers, and I asked them multiple times. I was like, why are you here? Like, what are you here for? And it's just like, some of those people are
to live a better life.
Yeah, some of those people are like, I just want to see Final Fantasy VII. That's all I want. The remake. I want to see it. And I'm like, wow, your passion for this art is so much greater and more enthusiastic than any press and maybe any industry people here. So,
for sure.
To them, I raise a glass. This glass I have in my hand that's full of...
What's in the glass?
So, like, I had Listerine in my mouth a couple weeks ago. And
a couple weeks ago?
Someone was using the bathroom, so I spit it out into this glass.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So that sat in your glass while you were gone at E3.
Yeah.
So you switched around some Listerine. You hopped on the plane.
Yeah.
You came back home and you had a cup of Listerine waiting for you.
I didn't remember
cheers
that
to
it was
gamer
here.
Americans.
Cheers to gamer Americans, indeed.
Yeah, Zwick in the chat says Tifa's boobs is proof that gamer Americans are in trouble.
Is that the headline?
That's what he's telling us.
That's the CNN headline.
That's your next story.
Well, and I just want to get this out of the way. It is June, and Grant and I are going to be leading the march in the Gamers Pride.
Oh, Gamer Pride.
I'm seriously considering
No, we should not actually do that.
The more you say it, the more I'm like, I don't know. It's good press. Any press is good press, isn't it?
That's what they say in press. They're like, hey, Daniel, you haven't filled your quota yet. Any press is good press.
And he works in the press, so we better believe him.
I'll cover it. I will cover it on any site I can.
So when we get canceled, we will cite you as
as an accomplice.
Our inspiration.
Yeah.
So Anyway,
do you have any cool stories? Any other stories from E3? I know we dicked around about Luigi's dick or whatever.
Yeah, so I have a lot of stories that would incriminate individuals, including me. But let me think of some.
Oh, anything you want to feel free to disclose.
Let me see here. So you guys know about like the Keanu Reeves guy, right? Like the guy who was like.
Yeah. Not Keanu Reeves, but the Keanu Reeves guy.
The Keanu Reeves guy, yeah. So we
love him.
He won a collector's edition of that game. And ever since then, during each of the conferences, because Microsoft's was first, every single time at the conferences, there were people who were screaming and yelling as loud as they possibly could so they could get acknowledged by the people up on stage.
I told you all that was a bad idea, giving him that prize.
Because, it was obnoxious. It was terrible. Because from what I was talking to like developers and stuff and people who were presenting on stage, like, spoke with the guy who did the Square Enix one, and every single time, he was the one who was doing the Avengers stuff. And every single time that they would mention anything like because they have to go through a script and like assume that no one knows who Hulk and Black Widow and like all these characters are. And like they were just trying to get through it as fast as possible. And every time they would like mention a character, someone in the audience would be like, "Oh my God." Or like,
"My Spidey senses do
you
good."
may know of Black Widow. And then someone in the audience and then the other worst thing was that Bethesda had an open bar right before their conference. So during the Elder Scrolls Online thing, you had people so enthusiastic about it in a way that was just like attention seeking and kind of debilitating. But I don't know.
That's why things take like 7 hours to fucking get through. All like the every 5 seconds applause breaks.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's terrible.
Yeah, it was very different. It was a lot emptier this year too. E3 is usually like you try to walk through the halls and you just can't get through anywhere. Thursday, it was the sort of thing where I was just walking up to places and being like, "Hey, can I play your game?" And that never happens. That actually never happens. It was very nice. So no one go to E3 next year, please. Thank you.
I won't.
Locals only.
I saw a lot of games this year, so if you guys want me to talk about like Cyberpunk, and the like,
IO Netrunner in the chat was asking about Watch Dogs Legion.
Watch Dogs Legion. So the thing with Watch Dogs Legion is that, so I didn't particularly go to the preview event for it, but I did still hear a lot of people talking about it. Just because I was staying in the same hotel room as them. And from my only question was like, hey, like, am I going to be able to play? Because you can choose your like group of hackers and everything. Am I going to be able to play exclusively as the grandmas, like as elderly people only? And the answer was yes. So in Watch Dogs 3, if you want an army of elderly people, then you can do that, and no other game is doing that. So I think
that sounds like it's worth the price of admission.
Yeah, there's already an army of elderly people. It's called the Republican voter base.
Oh man,
Zwick, cut the whole episode.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think
this one's a little too hot for TV. What the hell was I going to say?
Oh fuck! I'm sorry. I ruined it. I fucked it up. What are we talking about?
Peter wants to know if you played the Link's Awakening remake, and if you did, what did you think?
I love Link's Awakening. That's the first Zelda game I ever played. I have very fond memories of playing it on a road trip. This new game, which we learned is being developed by Grezco, which are the people who made the the Ocarina of Time 3DS remake and the Majora's Mask remake. So it's being made by them. Good. And the game looks so beautiful. It looks prettier than like any other really like top-down Zelda game because it has an aesthetic that's almost like toy-like. And they even like were selling this in the form of like an actual diorama full of toys that that was on the show floor that some like fan artists made, and it was gorgeous. They've remade that game in a way that feels very true to the spirit of the original because it's a very weird Zelda game. The only thing with it though is that it has like some performance issues that I assume they'll like get around to fixing maybe, but who knows? But very good. That's one that you should. I'm almost more excited for it than. Well, no, I'm really excited for Breath of the Wild too. But yeah, I mean they're killing it with the Zelda
they don't
IP
call
right
it
now.
that. Hope they come up with a different name besides just Breath of the Wild 2.
I think since it's darker, they're going to call it the Death of the Wild.
There we go.
I think
that's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
and they should call
I would buy 7 copies.
Legend of Link, since you play as Link.
You do.
Could you mention that next year?
I will. I'll talk when I see Eiji Aonuma again. I didn't stop him this time. I saw him and I was like, "Oh my god, that's the guy who made the Zelda." And he just walked by me. Next time, I'll stop him. I'll be like, "Hey, just so you know, that Breath of the Wild 2." Has
anybody ever asked you this before?
What's up?
See, okay, why call the princess's name Zelda, but the game's called Zelda, but you play as Peter Pan?
That was the best delivery of that question I had ever heard. Like,
well, you got to get a few drinks at you at the Bethesda booth before you know, a little bit of liquid courage. You know what I'm saying? Last E3 question here. Zwick was asking about the Blair Witch game. Did you get to check that out?
As far as I could tell, it wasn't anywhere on the show floor. That is a very surprising announcement because everyone thought it was Outlast 3. And that game is, I learned that game is being made by the Layers of Fear people who make really, really good horror games that are in the same Outlast format, but they're a little bit more cinematic and mind-bendy. So I'm very interested in seeing what they do because I love the Blair Witch movie in the sense that it's kind of like, to me, that movie still is like 2 dudes took a girl out into the forest and killed her and scared her by conjuring this like fake mythic folklore being that was never real, and it's all grounded in reality, and then we just found the footage for it. Like, I like it in that sense where it's all grounded in reality and there is nothing supernatural because you never see anything really in that first movie. I feel like everything Blair Witch related that came out after has kind of demystified it for me. And that
was sort of one of the first movies that sort of utilized viral marketing.
Yes.
Because if you remember, I think on like IMDb, they put the list of the actors and it was like unfound or something like that. Like as if
they did actually
we don't know where they are, or they're dead or whatever.
Like,
we were
filming a
disappeared.
movie in the forest and these actors are gone. Have you seen them? So
yeah,
I really like Blair Witch, and I hope it doesn't demystify. I hope it tries to be its own thing, which I think from the looks of that trailer, it's trying to be. Because I don't want it to taint like the memories of that movie, because Adam Wingard, the guy who made the Netflix Death Note movie, made a Blair Witch movie that I think was called The Blair Witch, and they like showed a monster in it. And like, I feel like that movie was perfect and like a decent sequel until I saw the monster, and I was like, oh, what the heck, man? Like you messed up. That's all you had to do was not do that.
Do you think there's going to be a trend of video games that are adapted from movies, like kind of in the same way how there is the Fargo movie, now there's the Fargo TV show? Can we expect a Fargo video game?
Maybe if Telltale was still around, we'd get a
like
Fargo
even like
video
outside
game.
of Telltale. That actually, I just had like a lightning bolt idea, like a series of Telltale games. I guess if they were still around. But they're based off of all the Coen Brothers movies.
Oh, that would be great. Actually.
Every wacky antic, and you can point and click, and
you can click.
You can like, hey, that rug ties the room together, and you got to, and he's like, whatever. Take Big Lebowski, the game. Yeah, that would be cool. But yeah, I mean, E3 was cool. Like a lot of people, like I can assume that being home for E3 this year would have been terrible. Like those conferences were largely horrendous, and that this happens every console generation before the new consoles get announced, because everyone is saving their stuff for next year. So next year, I feel like a lot of people are going to be surprised by some of the stuff that gets announced. But so we got PlayStation 4. What's next? PlayStation 5?
I don't know. I mean, PlayStation 5 is really clever, though. I've never thought about that before.
I mean, if I were in charge of Sony, I would call it PlayStation 5.
I'd call it the PlayStation Vita 2. Because Vita means
Boogaloo.
life.
Electric Boogaloo 2, The Squeakquel.
Oh, I remember that movie.
It's a Grant original.
I watched that movie.
Thanks.
I was young enough for when that movie came out where it wasn't weird for me to watch it in theaters.
Electric Boogaloo or The Squeakquel?
Both. I watched them.
So moving on to a little bit more show news here. Speaking of video games, how there's a transition that works for once.
Yeah.
We've been going hard on Twitch, twitch.tv/ThoughtCops. We just made affiliate status. That's right. Give
so
it
proud
up for
of you
me
guys.
and you. We made Twitch affiliate status, which of course means you can now subscribe to us for real life money on Twitch. You can donate money if you want. We've been streaming a lot of games on there. We've really beefed it up a lot so it looks a lot nicer. It's much more interactive. And we got some fresh blood in there. We got our friend Josh from the Fire Bros episode streaming with us. Me and Nico are streaming Mario RPG.
All of the regular characters from
Yeah,
Thought Cops.
the usual suspects, you could say.
Yeah.
So, yeah, check that out. And if you have Twitch Prime...
Amazon Prime.
Well, if you have
Or is
Amazon
it the
Prime,
same thing?
you can get
Yeah.
Twitch Prime.
Oh, okay.
So you're already paying for Amazon Prime. This is part of your payment. You just link it to Twitch, and then we get... I don't want to say that I can fix the economy here, but we get free money. Basically, listen, I don't know how it works, but if you have Amazon Prime, just make a Twitch account if you don't have one already, and link it to the Twitch account, and then go to twitch.tv/ThoughtCops and hit that subscribe button so we can get some money every month, because it doesn't re-upgrade, it doesn't re-subscribe you every month. You got to go back in 30 days. Make sure you do it again so me and Grant can eat.
And as soon as we become billionaires, as soon as Kevin and I both are worth at least $1 billion, the first thing we do, thanks to you guys, the first thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go right up to Jeff Bezos and I'm gonna punch him in his one good eye.
Oh,
He has one good eye.
yeah. Well, I was going to ask the same thing.
Yeah, you notice one of his eyes is a little more closed than the other one.
Oh,
I haven't spent that much time looking
I
at
think
it.
that's
robot
one
eye.
normal eye that is neither good nor bad, and then one bad eye.
No, one of them's the robot eye.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah.
like the Terminator.
So that's coming soon.
Yeah, Terminator is coming soon. To Gears of War 5. And also Ghost Recon. And Mortal Kombat.
We know, we got a giant fucking Mortal Kombat poster right outside my window. I wake up and I look at it every day.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat 11, made in Chicago, it says.
Made in
Does
Chicago.
it actually say that?
It does, yeah.
A nice sided
so funny.
Jardinera inside your Mortal Kombat.
I didn't know NetherRealm was in Chicago.
Yeah, you get a Mortal Kombat, you get a nice slice of deep dish.
Do they use
Get an
water
old style
bagels
to
for
wash
that?
it down with a shot of Malort on the house.
What'd you say, Danny?
Do they have water bagels served with every Mortal Kombat? Because I had a water bagel.
Water bagels?
Yeah, I went to a water bagel, like down in Los Angeles, and it's like they imported their water from New York City. It was amazing. It was the best bagel I had ever had in my life.
I know, I've heard that they say the bagels are better in New York City because the water, but goddamn,
It's
man.
actually insane. I suggest
Water-
it to everyone to import some water from New York and get some bagels. You guys think
It's
this
the
is a
best
bit.
water in the fucking country, you fucking idiot.
It's like- that's every single person I've ever heard talk about New York.
I mean, let's be
Yeah.
real, the water here
It's my-
sucks, man.
It's my
There's-
John Gotti impression.
I live in
There's
Oregon,
fucking lead in the water
so
here.
the water is great here. Because it's
Yeah,
never
we're not blessed with that.
bless this mess.
Anyway, we also were on the Mega 64 PPS last night. That's right, as of this recording.
Love those
whatever.
boys.
It's probably on YouTube. It's Garrett Hunter's Mega 64 poorly played stream. It's the episode with Charles from $1 Million Extremes.
That was fucking awesome.
Yeah,
like, talking
seriously.
to both of them.
Yeah.
We were on the line for like 10-15 minutes.
Wow,
talking
really?
to them and shit. That was amazing.
That's
I'm
super
glad I
cool.
got to finally tell somebody in $1 Million Extreme that I got slapped for putting on one of their videos in college. So, mission complete. Yeah, check that out. And yeah.
We'll link to it in the show description, like always, thoughtcopspodcast.com.
Yeah, you can find all that and more. on that website.
Speaking of and more, let's get to everyone's favorite segment, 2 Minutes of Hate.
Very nice.
Where we blanket punish everything bad that we hate about the internet. Kevin, do you want to get started?
Yeah, I do. 1 second.
He's bringing up his script. He's like, I've been writing this.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah.
You ever scroll on Twitter?
Yeah.
And you see people talking like this? Having a normal one. This is good, actually. Or people describing their behavior as extremely normal. You ever seen this stuff? This might be kind of niche for some of you, and for others, maybe it hits a little bit too close to home. But there's a certain, I like this ironically detached cadence on Twitter. Like everybody, like I love Chapo, but it's really annoying that 90% of my Twitter feed just tries to talk like Chapo.
Oh God, man!
Like
Really?
That's the worst.
They just use that same affect of humor where it's like, this is actually, like they retweet something that we all know is bad, and then they go, this is good actually, in a mocking sort of way. And if this doesn't make any sense to anyone listening, consider yourself fucking lucky.
Yeah.
You got a life. You know, live it. Me, I'm here doing Thought Cops every week. So it just, I don't know if this is whatever, but it's something that I see. I just really can't stand when people just are nothing but stock phrases.
Yeah.
And this just kind of feels like it's really hit that peak for me personally, where it just, they're like, I mean, whatever. It's people want to just, you know, spit something out into the void, and who can blame you? It's fun.
For me personally, I agree with you.
Okay, I feel validated.
I don't know these people. Just kidding.
I feel like I was like embarrassing myself.
No,
I'm like,
you're good.
Danny doesn't know what this is. He's got a life. He's going to.
I noticed that with when we called into, or I think when I called in, I can't remember. It was kind of a while, like a couple weeks ago, when I called into
Long time ago.
when I called into the Dick Show, and he had something he was talking before I got on the line. You called in with me. Before I got on the line, he was talking about like the big oof chief, you know, thing.
Yes.
And I've seen that more used detached and ironically than I've seen anybody ever say it at all in the first place.
Exactly.
It reminds me of a couple years ago when YOLO became a thing, and the only people saying YOLO were the people who were making fun of YOLO. I never heard anybody say YOLO until people were making fun of it, and it's like, I don't know what we're making fun of anymore.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't get it.
It's so bad, dude. And last week we spent a good amount of time just talking about the layers of irony.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think irony's bad. You know, sure, it's fun, but is it healthy?
Anytime I see one of these, I'm going to respond with the stock phrase, sometimes irony is bad.
Doing irony will get you nowhere, folks. Yeah, before I go off on nothing really with this, your punishment is say what you mean and say it mean.
I also think
just communicate properly.
Yeah, I also think that like sometimes like people say and do things and they have certain mannerisms and stuff like that, and it's like, God, I hope that sometimes some of the people that listen to this show don't copy my fucking mannerisms, because I'm so fucking stupid.
That would be so fucked up, dude.
Yeah. Like some of the shit sometimes it's like I feel like I play into this sometimes, but I play into it in a way that's like very like like I'm with you all the way, except I do it to get out my anger, you know, towards it. I don't know anymore.
It's kind of like therapy.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
But also I have to go to therapy because I read this stuff. Like, if I wasn't reading this stuff for Thought Cops, I probably wouldn't have to go to therapy every week. But
Well, the good thing is Patreon pays for your therapy.
Yes.
yeah, in a way, it's a matter of-
I'm gonna get
you-
that on a shirt. Patreon pays for my therapy.
that would be a really fucking good shirt
See, the
idea.
issue
Thank
is
you,
I
Danny.
just said it out loud.
Copyright me. Just kidding. Well, Danny, for the record, this is all going to be on the record. So if it comes down to me and you in court, just play back the episode of Thought Cops, and I'm screwed.
Yeah, I guess so.
So anyway, that's my 2 minutes of hate. Danny, did you have anything bugging you? You want to just let it out?
Yeah.
Be honest. Be open.
I'm gonna come at this from anger, and it's probably not gonna
Yes.
sound like anger, but
That's
I want to
okay.
talk about mental health and content creation.
Yes.
Speaking of,
Yeah. There's recently been an individual who's, I'm not going to name them, but there's recently.
I'll name them.
no, we don't want to get Danny in trouble.
I mean, like, it won't get me in trouble. I just ethically don't want to mention their name right now.
I don't have ethics.
But there's recently been an individual who has been under the limelight in terms of YouTube for a while, and I've only encountered them in person once before, and they seemed like a very cool, awesome individual who was creative and a very chill individual, as the kids would say. Now,
yeah.
the thing is that, like earlier this week, they uploaded a video that was basically in its essence, a suicide note. And it's incredibly sad and terrible, because no one's found him yet. And so I just wanted to take this like moment to just be like, hey, like, if you're making content, like, you're not obliged to, like, everyone takes breaks every once in a while. And like, if it feels like the end of the world and that you're having much anxiety about it, then that is a good thing that you take a break, because it isn't like, I understand finances. I understand that you might be doing this for money, but I mean, I feel like the best mental health in terms of like my mental well-being that I've ever done in terms of like therapy has been like to have a day job, like to like not be reliant on YouTube. And this individual is someone who is, it's very sad that this is happening to them, but also the thing that makes me especially angry is that his fans are people who are like, you betrayed me, like, by not making content. People who have been basically bullying him.
Man, I was going to say, I thought that maybe things were moving away from people acting like that, but
No, I think in certain spheres it has, like someone like who's been on our show sort of has gone through like a thing, and another person who does a show with him, like just for the sake of like not fucking, like you said, not outing people. I didn't know this was the direction you were going with when you started all this shit. So apologies, but no, like he's sort of been stepping away from stuff, and it's sort of like good. Like I'm glad to see him taking care of himself. Like at the very least, like, these are people, and it's sad to see, like, in any sort of like public sense. That's why, like, I think sometimes we go hard on this show in terms of some of the bullshit, but like, as much as I possibly can, I try and have some level of compassion towards people, because it's like, just imagining like your dirty laundry out there for millions of people to like mock you and make fun of you has to have some like level of fucking mental strain that I don't think people know how to fucking properly deal with at all.
And I'm just mad really about artists. I'm not artists. I'm mad at people who don't realize that artists and like content creators are people, and nothing more than like entertainment to them. Like, it makes me so incredibly upset. And I understand that like most of this person's fan base are like kids, but I feel like, I mean, that's the age. I mean, when you got to start cutting that out. Like, when you are a teenager, you got to start having compassion. Like, it'll make you a better adult if you learn that now rather than when you are an adult.
True.
But yeah, just like if you're a content creator out there, if you make content and it's the sort of thing where you don't feel like you can stop making it because you'll let people down, it's time to stop making it for a while, because you should be making it. You owe it to both your audience and yourself to make stuff mainly for yourself and for your own enjoyment, because that's where real art comes from, is from passion. And if that passion mostly just comes from an obligation, then it's at the detriment to everyone.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm sorry. I didn't mean a soapbox.
No.
Yeah, I mean, it's worth mentioning.
Yeah. And, we, Kevin and I talk about this show, like, not just like the show, like, hey, let's talk about the show, but like, the creation of the show a lot and stuff like that, and sort of the meta aspects of the show a lot, and just sort of, I totally forgot the fucking direction I was going in with this. Fuck. Yeah, no, just the different aspects of like how different people can bring different things in and stuff like that, and how like the show doesn't always have to be one way or the other, but it's it's always good to have like different types of people on, like you, for instance, bring this type of thing up, because it's like, we a lot of times we do have that, post-ironic detachment towards some of this shit, and we get so in our own heads towards, some of this stuff, and it's like, no, I'm totally glad you brought this up, because this angers me also, as a person who has like, his own fucking mental health problems and stuff too. It's like the guy you're talking about is a year or two older than me, and it's insane to see someone go through something so public and just like, I don't not have the facilities to deal with it,
Yeah. Yeah. I think taking breaks is such a healthy thing. Yeah. And it's a sort of thing where like most people who are content creators, I mean, like we're working 60-hour jobs maybe for stuff that's like less than minimum wage. That's like terrible. Like, and everyone mostly does it out of passion, but some people are doing it for the wrong reasons, and for reasons that like, I mean, you should always be making stuff for yourself primarily, because that is art, is when you're making something that's an expression from you, that's something that's honest, rather than something that someone else wants. But yeah, I don't know, like,
so this would be the part where we have to send out a punishment, but I feel like
we're gonna punish those people by forcing them to make our content. There you go.
Fucking you
make my videos.
How about you do it? Cops.
If you want to see my videos so badly,
you make them.
Yeah, you make them.
And then we like micromanage. Like, it's not supposed to be like that. Make sure you do this. Just let me do it. God damn it.
Yeah.
All right, Grant. What's your? How are you going to follow that with?
Oh, I forgot that I have to go. Oh man, now I feel like I got to.
Just be yourself, man.
Oh man, I don't want to be myself. I thought that's the whole point of the show, is I get to be somebody else.
True. Just be somebody else, man.
Okay, I got one that's I think this is going to be good. So I've been walking around a lot because it's a hobby.
It's healthy. It's a healthy thing to walk.
Yeah, it's good. It's good for your body. It's good for your mind. It's good for the soul. And I keep tripping over this fucking litter that people are just leaving shit just all over the streets. I keep tripping on these fucking things. They're sort of like these wheeled devices that people are leaving fucking everywhere. They just take these scooters and they just throw them on the fucking sidewalk.
I am so glad you brought this in. So I don't know, Danny, what city do you live in or nearby?
I just got back from LA last week, and let me tell you, the scooter revolution needs to go across the entire nation, but I am also very upset about the scooters.
I think they just fucking leave them everywhere.
Exactly,
so I think in theory, because these things just popped up out of nowhere in Chicago
like 2 days ago.
On Monday.
2 fucking days ago. There's what, 3 million people in Chicago or whatever. I don't know how 30,000. There's 10 people in Chicago. I don't give a shit. There's 400 billion scooters all over the sidewalks.
So correct me.
I need a shovel to get out of my front fucking door.
I've been trying to understand how this works because so it's through Uber or something.
Is
I got
it?
an email from
Fuck Uber.
I got an email from I think it was Uber or something, but they were saying, scooters have arrived. And as far as I understand, like I guess there's an app that locates nearby scooters, so you pay to use a scooter for like a certain amount of distance, you get there, and then you just drop it off wherever. Let me check. I think people are trying to correct me in the chat here. Let me check out.
They're probably correcting me on how many people are in Chicago.
More than 10?
Yeah. There's a 2,500 unit cap on all of them. Each of them have 500 deployed. Lars just says you're wrong, but I don't know about what. He says, I don't know.
He's
You're
just talking
wrong.
in general.
Peter says each one has an app that locates the scooter and facilitates payment. But the problem with that,
So this is like Scootermon Go.
yeah. So the problem with this is,
Scootermon, go to the polls.
oh, there we go, 2020 baby. And so people just leave them anywhere. So it's like, yeah, you can find where the nearest scooter is, but it could be in the middle of the fucking sidewalk.
They're all in the middle of the sidewalk.
Like, in theory, this sounds awesome. Like, you can just pick up a scooter wherever you want. But it's like, it looks like a kid with a messy room. Like, pick up your fucking toys.
Clean your room.
Seriously,
Pick up
folks.
your scooter. That's going to be Jordan
Scooter.
Peterson's next book is Pick Up Your Scooter.
Wait till they come to Toronto.
Yeah. Yeah, just you fucking wait.
He says they're supposed to be
That's
on
exactly what I fucking hate about it, is the fucking messy room aspect. People they jump off of them and just fucking leave them right in the... You know what I'm going to do? Chicago Party Ant on Twitter had the best tweet, which was, I'm going to take these fucking things and throw them into Lake Michigan, which I agree with. But one of two things. I'm going to, one, start renting these and just leave them in the middle of the road for people to hit. And two, I'm going to start venturing into like the scary parts of Chicago and leaving them all there.
Oh my God. And then you're going to what? Leave on foot?
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah. Scooters are cool, kind of, but yeah, people abuse them. Like, there's a couple of them that I saw that had the things ripped off of them, but like they still beep when you get on them and won't work. So what were you trying to do? Like, I was so confused most of the time with how the scooters were abused. Like, there's no money in there. Like,
And I guess it's like once once you leave it alone, I guess you just absolve any sort of responsibility. So what's your punishment?
yeah,
Take the scooters, throw them into fucking Lake Michigan.
I can't
Throw
wait
them
for
into the nearest
scooter
water
landfill.
source. Sorry, what's that?
I can't wait for the scooter landfill, like images of that to pop up.
I mean, I think that it's a good, like, it's probably great to reduce people's carbon footprint and stuff like that. Like, I have no problem with the bike sharing shit.
Yeah.
But,
It's like
I just fucking
divvy
hate it.
bikes.
I hate it.
Yeah, at least
so angry.
The divvy bikes, there was racks for them.
Yeah, exactly. Peter in the chat says the divvy bikes are easier to steal anyway.
There you go.
So
we've been-
steal yourself a bike.
We've been dilly-dallying for quite some time now. Let's get right to it.
Yeah.
So, if you haven't listened to Thought Cops before, every week we investigate the internet's outrage-inducing news stories, and then we sentence each perpetrator to a cruel and often kind of unusual punishment. So, let's talk about this. Hey, you guys like pranks?
I love pranks.
Danny, you like a good practical joke?
Oh my goodness. As someone who loves to be played on, it's my favorite. Especially when there's jobs involved.
Yeah, that's
Wow, yeah.
Hey, in a country where we've had a lot of issues with the employment rate, what better idea for a hit Netflix show than one of the Stranger Things kids tricking you into thinking you have employment, and then probably just like counting his money and laughing at you as he's like, "Yo, you got pranked, bro."
He's like an 8-year-old that's never had a real job in his life.
Like
and he's like, I'm going to ruin people's lives.
It's like if they made a more mature and like grittier reboot of Richie Rich, and this would be the pilot episode. He makes a reality TV show where he gives people jobs, and then like it's a lie though. Then he counts his money and laughs.
This is really truly a dark Richie Rich.
This is the darkest Richie.
This would be a Richie Rich reboot. Unfortunately, it's reality, and sometimes reality is scarier than fiction, folks. So, I think this is almost like a Jackass for Zoomers. You know, Zoomers are a little crazy. You know what I mean? These Generation Z kids, they're always, you know, they like 4chan and Minecraft and
yep, that's what
they're all doing. Yeah,
Monster Energy Juice.
Yeah,
and the like. So the terrifying and hilarious. The show is called The Prank Encounters. It eschews the punked ethos, where you were really only in trouble if you were friends of a friend with Ashton Kutcher, or an open car-loving wound like Zach Braff. I'm reading this from AV Club, by the way, so they wrote it. They wrote it, not me.
That's a good article.
That's why it sounds weird when I'm reading off of the website. So the contestants are subjected to business as usual until their paths collide, and these part-time jobs turn into full-time nightmares. So I don't fully like. I think I read it's supposed to be like supernatural based pranks.
Yeah, and
Either way, I mean, it's like,
yeah, I mean, they updated the article to where it's like they have a 1-day contract with a company, so it's like a temp agency from hell, and then like the prank is like, oh no, the hospital receptionist job that I was supposed to do is haunted by ghosts or something like that, I'm assuming. Or like you're staying at a hotel and like someone brings a dead body in. Like I don't actually have access to the episodes of this, but I assure you that is one of the episodes. Is like,
has it come out yet?
No, I don't think it will for a while until they.
I don't know if it ever will. I mean, it was pretty much unanimous negative reception.
Yeah. So I will say, like, one of my favorite TV shows of all time is Trigger Happy TV, and there were a number of fucking sketches where somebody would be applying for a job and they'd walk into this is pre-furry era, by the way, but they'd walk into a job where they thought that they were going to do an interview, and it'd just be all people in animal costumes, like staring at them.
I was going to say, it's one thing to offer someone gainful employment and then snatched out from beneath them, and then it's another thing to be walking around on a giant cell phone. So I guess Netflix did update. I don't know if this was just damage control or something.
I think it might be, yeah. But
yeah, they said they issued a statement clarifying that the participants were paid for their time, and they knew they weren't applying for long-term jobs. It says the pranks and prank encounters are spooky, supernatural, and over the top, and everyone has a great time.
Everyone.
All participants.
I sure hope there are a lot of nice sound effects.
Oh, that'd be radical.
Yeah.
All participants came in with the expectation that this was a 1-day hourly gig, and that everyone got paid for their time. So, Danny, you're right. Maybe you're right ahead in the Google Doc here or not, but
not at all.
Well, you got a good mind for business, and
I am Netflix.
We should. Hey, we should get a. No, I was going to say we should get a Thought Cop show, but then I'm like, I don't want to like subject myself to having to read more about.
I don't want to leave this room.
Yeah,
neither do I.
Hey, we could do it from here.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's crazy. Sometimes I read news articles like this, and I'm thinking to myself, what am I living in the upside down? You know?
Wow, my guy.
So what do we punish? We got to punish. Do we punish the kid?
Yeah.
Yes. We punish Steve Wozniak, the CEO of Netflix. And that's it. Yeah.
I thought he was the Apple man.
No, I think that was Steve. That's Steve Jobs. Who? I mean, did you see that latest interview with Steve Jobs? It was crazy. Very lively guy.
From last week, yeah. E3.
E3, yeah. He was there with
Steve Jobs.
He was there with Elon Musk and Todd Howard.
So this kid's name is Gaten Matarazzo.
Yeah.
Gaten Matarazzo. Your punishment is
you have to apply to one of these. You have to apply at like McDonald's.
Yeah.
except you get the job
Yeah.
and then you fucking work it. And that's the fucking nightmare, is you have to go in and you show up early, but the manager's like, hey, I need you now. And then you work a fucking 12-hour shift on your feet. You're fucking sore, but somehow, despite the fact that you're walking around all day, you're constantly gaining weight because the only food you can afford to eat is the McDonald's food, and it's fucking garbage for you. And then, your manager's saying things along the lines of like, you should not fry the fries for too long because the way you're doing it is, and you're just like, you're fucking going crazy inside your own mind, and you have to deal with real life the way everybody else does.
Yeah, no, ain't no Stranger Things season 3.
Yeah.
Anyway. What do you want to talk about next?
Just end the episode right there.
Cut
right there.
Oh, I got it.
Yeah. Please.
Hello, Twitter world.
Oh, God.
That's right, folks. O.J. Simpson's on Twitter.
It's a great impression of O.J. Simpson.
This is one of the funniest things to happen, I would say, since we started doing the show. Just the fact that I love his delivery. Because, okay, so for anybody who doesn't know, O.J. Simpson made a Twitter account last week, and he's just been posting videos where he says he's going to set the record straight and get even. Which is, and the way he's a very big, imposing man who's probably murdered people, and he just like the way, there was like this menacing aura that comes off of him when he just like, we're gonna get even, and it's just like, what the fuck did that mean? So he's been putting up these videos like almost every day, like filmed from his luxurious backyard. One was like wishing everyone a happy Father's Day, but also to clear up the gossip that one of the Kardashian kids was not his. So he's just going up. He's like, I didn't have a voice to speak up about this for a long time. So now he's like, everybody's going to hear the truth. And he says this is coming soon to Twitter. It's a funny way to frame that, you know? Oh, yeah.
Well, he's been in jail for 10 years, so he doesn't understand what Twitter is. So.
Like, you do understand that, like, anybody can make an account. Like, there's no coming soon. Like,
I mean, some people can't make an account. Some people get banned from Twitter for the rest of their life. But,
True.
You know, a guy who was basically convicted of murder in a civil in a civil course case, is allowed on, I guess. So
let me get this straight. O.J. Simpson's allowed, but the guy who threatens to kill Mr. Peanut is banned from Twitter permanently. Which we'll be hearing some of that in the coming weeks. Stay tuned.
Hello, this is Zwick. Sorry about the interruption. In the middle of this recording, for some reason, there was a major corruption that nobody caught until afterwards. So this is going to be like a weird transition for you guys. The setup is that they end up talking about some show and then they go into The Simpsons somehow. I'd give you better detail if I could actually understand what they were saying. Back to the show.
I think that I think The Simpsons, like, they say they're white, but they look yellow. I don't know. This is beside the point. O.J. Simpson's on Twitter.
Eat my yellow dick, man.
Nico in the chat says, can I just say how fucking stupid it is that there are a bunch of no-name game journalists who are verified Twitter users, but not O.J. Simpson?
That was the best joke of the night. O.J. Simpson.
Making me feel really bad about myself right now.
Are you?
And there's also people are debating that the Simpsons are actually yellow.
Do you think in their world yellow is actually white and white is actually yellow? No, I don't know. This is weird. I don't like talking about The Simpsons.
Why not?
It makes me uncomfortable. Like, I don't know, as an Indian man, makes me a little uncomfortable.
Oh, right. I do want to ask, at E3, did you happen to see if there is a Simpsons Hit and Run 2?
They had Destroy All Humans there, so probably. You'd have to ask the THQ Nordic people, but I heard they're really busy with being on 8chan, so... THQ...
How many more fucking Chans do they need?
Chris Chan is the only one I need.
Yeah. Agreed.
That dude is having a mental breakdown, by the way. Have you guys seen his, like, videos of him in that, like, abandoned asylum lately?
Oh God, it's almost too much. Like Chris Chan is a lot.
Man, when was it not too much?
I know.
I almost
but
think
Chris Chan is. It keeps getting worse.
No, like it's gotten really bad. Like I saw a video and he was in an abandoned asylum or an sanatorium. I don't know what it's called, but
one's for you get locked up in, and the other you wash your hands.
So it was both of those. And he was there, but he was like putting his Sonic fan art on a pedestal or something. And he was just like, yeah, this is where the kids were here. This was where the kids were here. And he just kept saying that. And then like, he was like, I've given them my art so they can smile. It was like so scary. I felt like I was the only one who watched this video. I should try and track it down, but Chris Chan's going through it right now.
Okay, I
saw people referencing it, but I just I can't bring myself to watch some of that stuff sometimes.
Yeah, I got a good punishment.
Yeah,
it's a collab.
And this is for the O.J. Simpsons, right?
O.J. Simpson makes a new video with Chris Chan. Hello, Twitter world. This is my new friend, Chris Chan. We became friends on Twitter.com, and we're going to be talking about Sonic and Pikachu. You don't like that? Come on. I was so excited. I was like, I gotta say this. It's like Grant is gonna love this. Yeah. And nothing. All right,
I get it. I can dig it.
I get it. I understand where you're coming from.
I didn't want you guys to just get it. I wanted it to be funny. That's okay. Oh. They can't all be winners. Anyone else want to throw punishment in the ring here?
Yeah, O.J. Simpson goes to jail.
O.J. Simpson has to put the glove back on. That's my punishment.
We're gonna make you fucking put it on.
The glove is the Thanos glove, and he snaps the thing from the movie.
He snaps, and half the jury disappear.
There we go. There it is. There it is.
You want him to kill more people? What's wrong with you?
I don't know what's wrong, man.
Your punishment, OJ, killing more people.
I am inevitable, Twitter world.
Goodness.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, we're having fun.
Do we got time for one more?
How we doing on time? Look, what's that time we're at?
I think we're at like a...
Oh, good. No, we're done. No more stories.
Well, we started about 14 minutes into this, but...
These are supposed to be like an hour long.
Yeah. That's so funny. I'm sorry, guys.
And like
this has been a great episode.
I think we got the main ones here, honestly.
Yeah, we got Netflix. We got OJ.
Some of the shit I just like do not fucking want to talk about.
Exactly.
Like I do feel sometimes the need to talk about some of this stuff and just sort of like put some sort of a referential spin of understanding onto it. Like the Kyle Kashov rejected from Harvard story.
Weird Freudian slip.
Or the Rachel Dola's all coming out as bisexual. Like, it's all interesting stuff, and I do like talking about it sometimes. But sometimes I just look at, like, the title of some of this stuff, and I'm like, I do not want to touch this.
Yeah,
man.
It's like there's some audio can be pulled out of context. Yeah. I mean, I think we're past the point of no return at this point.
Oh, okay. Sure, yeah.
Let's go on. Let's move to a more positive segment of the show, Key to the City. This is the part where we like to bring attention to something positive this week. And my key to the city this week, it's quite simple. Yeah. My key to the city goes to the fans.
Sucks. You can't do this every week.
I'm only saying it because I'm really sorry about last week, what I said on the episode about all our fans.
Is this going to be like a story arc?
This is the end of the story arc.
Okay.
This is the thrilling conclusion to the 3-episode story arc.
You were for the fans and then against the fans, but now you're for them again.
Now I'm asking them for forgiveness. And I want to say that all the Thought Cops fans out there, if you're listening, I guess you would have to be to hear this. I just want to say that I'm sorry. I didn't mean what I said last week. It was supposed to be funny. I just wanted Ian to think I was cool. I don't think it worked. But I just want to say, I hope you can forgive me. I love you guys. And I love, it was all a part of a bit. This is, sometimes you can forget that Thought Cops is supposed to be funny sometimes. Most of the time it's supposed to be funny, but...
We try our best.
There's nothing funny about attacking your fans, And I think that maybe I scorned some people last week, and I just want to say I'm sorry. And this week, the key to the city goes to the fans. So let's give it up for the fans. All right. Grant, take it away.
I gotta think for a little bit longer. Dr. Forks, PhD. Do you have a key to the city this week?
I have a key of the city that I am giving to a developer named Dreams Incorporated. Dreams Incorporated is putting out a title called Chris Tales. Is no relation to Chris Chan.
I was
afraid.
Anyway, I'm giving my key to them because they just released a demo of their upcoming game Chris Tales, which is basically like a classic JRPG, except you're able to look into the past as well as the future dynamically at any point. Like the screen splits apart so you can perceive your actions kind of like Chrono Trigger and see how they affect the past and the future directly. There's a very beautiful visual aesthetic, which is imparted from Colombian architecture, as well as the storytelling is also imparted greatly from Colombian storytelling and myths. So I definitely suggest go check out Chris Tales. It's CRISTALES. You can download a free demo on Steam. It's gorgeous. It's hand-drawn, and you're going to love it. And all those guys are incredibly nice and positive people. So giving my key to them.
I'm going to have to check that out.
Yeah.
Sounds really cool. Grant?
Yeah, I got a key to the city.
Nice.
My key to the city this week goes to... Got to scroll a little bit further. Mm-hmm. I got to find this guy's name. Charles Cornell. Have you guys seen this?
Yeah, I've done notes like he does before. Cornell notes. Nobody? Okay, goodbye.
I don't.
It was a deep cut to the middle school of the early 2010s. I'm sorry.
Cornell
There's a couple
notes.
people who know about
I'm trying
Cornell
to rack
notes.
my brain. Peter in the chat said you did not just make a Cornell notes joke. I'm having flashbacks.
Okay, thank you. All right, someone appreciated it.
You're never too young for a Cornell notes joke flashback. No, Charles Cornell is this. He takes these YouTube videos and he adds like a piano accompaniment to them. Like, you know, the one, I can pull this up on my phone real quick, but the one kid that goes, you know, when you like, when you, and he just keeps saying the same thing over and over again. Well, this guy like plays piano to fucking, like him. It's probably poor audio, but.
Sorry, Zwick.
Like check him out on Twitter. This is very poorly fucking done. It's _ Charles Cornell, and he adds a piano accompaniment to every fucking video that's ever existed on YouTube.
He's probably so pissed off he couldn't get the regular Charles Cornell handle.
At Charles Cornell, give me your Twitter handle, you coward.
Anyway, that sounds interesting.
Thanks. Well, that's the point. He makes cool videos. He's a good content
I know
creator.
you're playing it in the mic, but you're like also playing the video away from me.
Well, I'm sorry. I don't know what you want
it's fine.
me to do.
I'll
Zwick's going to put it in post.
I'll check it out when I'm in bed, home, naked, and stuff like that.
I don't. Okay.
Yeah, that's cool.
Too much information?
No, it's not enough.
All right. So, Thought Cop's word of the week. Oh, goodness. What would it be?
I don't know.
I was like struggling to think of one.
I literally never have one. I have like one once a blue moon.
Okay, I got it.
However often that is.
Danny, you can tell us what Cornell Notes is.
Oh my goodness, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
So Cornell Notes was this thing that they made us do in middle school and like I guess high school as well. But basically, you would split your page, like your notes in school during a class. You'd make a line about a third of the way through the page. And on the left side of that line, you would have the name of a subject, and then on the right side, you would put all your notes. So, for example, if it was like you were in history class and they decided to talk about George Washington, you would put George Washington on the name thing and all of your notes to the right. Now, this note-taking system was terrible.
Did this get you into Cornell University?
No, it didn't.
No.
No.
Okay. Why is it called that?
Because it is, as far as I am aware,
Cornell West. Is this how Cornell West takes his notes?
No, it is. I think it is. It was like a professor at Cornell University invented Cornell Notes and was like, this is the most efficient way to take notes, even though it isn't really, because it just wastes paper. But yeah, so I missed a very vital part of this. On the bottom, fifth of the paper, you have to summarize everything that's up at the top as well. So key facts. And that was the worst as well. It was not good, but it was supposed to supposed to teach us how to focus and organize thoughts. But really, it was just a weird rubric that they forced everyone to do. Because when I was doing middle school and early high school, they were grading our notes, to make sure that we were doing notes, and it was agonizing. It was worst.
Isn't that fun? I think that everyone has the right to an education in the country and blah blah blah, but some of the ways that they teach you how to do shit is so fucking dumb, and it's just every student understands how to take notes the same way, and it's no, you fucking don't.
Yeah, I don't understand this. It just sounds like it only builds resentment for learning.
Oh, it did.
Welcome to the public education.
Yeah,
school
I was about to
system.
say. I mean, that's why I made the snarky joke. It's because I hated Cornell Notes. So
knowing
much.
that, I'm gonna go back and re-listen to the episode, and I'll probably give a little bit more of a smirk to it. I'll even do one of these.
I love that, man. I'm on the train and the person next to me is thinks I'm smelling them. I'm like, nope, I'm listening.
I'm laughing at my own podcast.
Anyway, before we get to our final segment of the show, voicemails, Danny, plug everything you got.
Okay, follow me on Twitter at ShadowForks and check out my YouTube channel at ShadowForks Games. I'm going to have some form of E3 content that shows up if it's a 3-hour feature-length film. I hope you get some popcorn. I hope you get some friends. Oh, I hope, not get some friends as in you don't have some already, but get some friends together.
I need some more.
Yeah.
Also, you can check out my Patreon, which is patreon.com/ShadowForks. And please, again, go to my Twitter and follow me. And I'm currently doing a poll whether or not I should make a dozen E3 videos or make that feature film. And there's about, it looks like 18 cowards who said, no, you idiot, make a dozen videos. And, I won't stand for that, so please vote for that.
I'm going to vote on that right now.
Thank you.
While Grant pulls up the voicemails.
No, I'm going to wait for you. I'm kidding.
Oh, I don't want to tell you guys what I voted for. So.
Yeah, good.
Anyway.
Hey, Thought Cops, this is Donald Trump.
That's him.
Hey, man, y'all didn't prepare me to get fucked by the long dick of the law. It was a big problem for me.
Oh my God.
That was really the president.
Wow, I can't believe that. What an honor.
Let me just say, he's got a bit of a potty mouth.
He does.
Well, that's the second time he's been on the show. Wow. If you guys remember episode 100,
that's right.
Kevin had an epic takedown for Donald Trump. Please go check out Thought Cops episode 100.
It was everything.
It was everything and more. One of my favorite episodes to record by far. Just the amount of work we put into that. Please check out episode 100. But yeah, Donald Trump, big man to get in here.
Big man.
I hope this increases our download numbers.
Yeah. I hope he retweets us.
I hope he does too. Wow. That was surreal.
Can you imagine if Donald Trump quote retweeted us? That'd be so freaking epic.
That'd be the greatest thing.
What's the next one?
I don't know.
No, yeah. Grant, what the hell's happening?
Hey, Thought Clops. You know what's the most disrespectful shit ever? When you, the driver, are nice enough to drive your dipshit friends around, waste your fucking gas. Gas ain't cheap. And they have the fucking disrespect to fucking leave their goddamn fucking fast food shit or candy wrappers in the backseat of the car. You pieces of shit. I let you into my car that I pay like $100 a month for car insurance, and I have to drive in this shitty Chicago traffic, and they leave their fucking trash. I don't even ask for gas. Excuse me, you can take the fucking bus, you fucking poor bitch. Carless poor bitch.
Oh my God.
When you learn to respect people's cars, then you can ride in my car. Otherwise, you can fucking take an Uber and trash theirs, you cunt.
I wonder who she's talking about.
I know. I'm like, wait, I think I know who it might be, and I don't want to say anything. That's all I'm going to say is that I'm not going to say anything.
Wow, that was crazy.
You? No, it wasn't me.
I thought it was going to be about me for a second there. I was like, oh man,
was she your Uber driver in LA?
Probably one of many.
Did you leave an Arby's bag in her back seat?
Is that a euphemism?
No comment. No, man, just big old
Arby's bag. That's the name of my new mixtape, my new EP. Big old Arby's bag.
It's pretty good.
It is a good one. It's gonna be a good one.
She says it's about her dad.
Oh.
Next voicemail, for God's sakes.
Real quick, I feel like I need to read this because he told us to add this in. But he said, I
thought he left a voicemail.
He did leave voicemails, but I'm just going to read this anyway. He said, if I don't get a chance to record it, just read it. My 2 minutes of hate is people that drag you to a club and you can't do anything about it because you're in a different city and they're your driver for the night. So there's 2 car-themed voicemails.
Okay. You should outlaw cars. This is why we have scooters now.
Well, thank you, Yosef, for the thematically appropriate quote-unquote voicemail.
Yeah. Thank you.
It's the Yang Gang 2020. What does that mean? Sorry, I'm looking through all your Discord chats. I didn't mean to derail the podcast.
Oh, yeah, it's a mess in there, man.
It's a big fucking mess. It's a wormhole.
Oh, it's an Andrew Yang channel. Delicious.
Unfortunately, yeah.
We made it to get people to stop posting the Andrew Yang stuff in Looney Bin, and they would all just put that fucking garbage in the other one, then mute the notifications.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right, next voicemail.
Speaking of Yosef, he left a couple more.
Right.
He left a couple of voicemails in addition to something about the club.
What's up, guys? This is my impression of the guest from last week. Like.
That was incredible.
Oh, that's hilarious, man.
I have that fucking problem though.
I
think we all do.
I think that, well, honestly, the one time that Alan called us out on the Dick Show for it, where he played the audio of me saying like so
with
much
the ding sound effect every time you did it.
I was so shocked and appalled at my behavior that I quickly corrected it.
I think I've been getting better about it. ShadowForks, I know you. It doesn't sound like you say like a lot. So
it was something that I had to get out of my system as a child.
Yeah,
right.
It was not okay.
Oh, he's saying again. Get the whipping stick out.
That's what happened.
Yeah,
they got the whipping stick out, and I was like, "Nope, I don't like that."
I don't like that.
Oh, I love Indiana
Jones. This guy's getting Facebook likes and he's getting flashbacks.
Facebook likes. That's the premium currency of the apocalypse.
Yes. You could not be more correct.
That's going to be my post-apocalyptical novel, is that the currency is social currency instead of Metro, which is bullets. But
yeah.
I don't know. I feel like all of my likes, I try when I have a coherent point to make, that I try and slowly walk through it and speak in the way that I'm speaking right now. But when I really fucking start getting really fucking mad like this, like I am right now, and I start fucking goddamn talking like this, is when they all fucking come out. That's when I have the hardest problem. But it's fucking hard. It's hard talking on this shit. It's hard to make talk do words. Listen.
Me agree.
Yeah.
I also agree. Oh man, we got 2 more.
Yeah, let's play.
He left another one. I'll play it.
Fucking boomers.
What was that at the end?
It was it was like him fastening his seatbelt.
It sounded like he was unzipping his pants.
It was actually. It totally was.
Oh my god! What the fuck?
What was that?
I want to play it.
I've been replaying it a couple times now, and it's totally been that.
Let's replay it.
Fucking boomers!
What the heck? It just sounds like the image for me is that this dude went into the bathroom to record this, and he's trying to be a little quiet, and he's just like, fucking boomers, and then he just unzips his pants so fast and just slaps his penis on the table. That is literally the image in my head.
I would say 80% of the voicemails come from either a bathroom or inside of a car, so...
And they're usually 80% of the content of them have to do with either the bathroom or the car. So
Nico says, or in a toilet. I don't know. That's supposed to be toilet different from
I don't know
the
what
bathroom.
that means.
All right, let's get the last one.
Yeah,
here.
last one.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Lego Fan 0487, and
Hello,
I was
Lego
just
Fan.
wondering how the Lego Star Wars Skywalker saga was at E3. I know that there was a behind closed doors demo that was shown. However, it doesn't seem like much information has been given out in regards to that game. So if you have any insights from TT Games' latest entry in the long-running Lego Star Wars franchise, how about you share that? Thank you. Bye.
Ooh, we got a real Lego maniac on our hands here.
Wow, that guy sounds nuts.
A real Brickster, if you say.
A real, Lego Island 2, the Bricksters of Revenge fan over there.
All right, man, you got to spill the beans.
Yeah,
Tell us about,
I saw a private showing of the new Lego Star Wars game from TT Games, and when the Skywalker Saga got announced, it was kind of like, oh, okay, cool, another Lego game. This game is being built from the ground up with a new engine.
As you build all things Lego related from the ground up.
Exactly. And it is a very tight third-person camera. When you aim with your gun, it aims down, and there's crosshairs, and there's a big open world, and they remade everything. None of it is a remaster. Everything. Every single thing they've gone back and remade it from the ground up, and it's largely a passion project that James McLaughlin, the game director for this latest entry, that they've been working on. And the lightsaber combat is like Devil May Cry. And the puzzles are akin to the
improvisation, baby. Chicago, the home of the improv.
So it's like
scene.
the Kokiri seed quests that were in Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, where
I didn't like those.
There's dozens of open world hubs that are like Mos Eisley, that are like the cyberpunk city in episode 2, and it seems like the most ultimate Star Wars game. So definitely check that out. It's going to surprise a lot of people once they show gameplay, because the space combat seems like Rogue Squadron, and it just seems to be like taking some of the best stuff from like Star Wars games and just like video games in general, and just making this full recreation of the entire Star Wars saga, which is super exciting. It doesn't include the best movie. I asked them if they were going to have solo stuff, and they said no. And that's the best Star Wars movie, so I don't know why they just didn't make...
Is that your favorite?
A solo thing. No, the second Ewok movie is the best one. Best Star Wars
What about
movie.
the Christmas special?
Dude, I'm not that much of a memester. I'm sorry. I can't commit to that.
Yeah, I don't know if I could get into that either.
And it sounds like great news for that caller. He's going to be in Lego heaven.
Yeah.
He's going to be in Brick Paradise.
It's like that song.
Living in a Brickster's paradise.
That's the song that was that a David Bowie cover?
Yeah,
that was beautiful.
I got a couple different voices, I guess.
Yeah.
Hey, how could David Bowie do a cover if he came first?
Is that Cartman?
God damn it.
Oh my god.
How can David Bowie's dead?
Oh.
Anyway, let's wrap it up here. Everybody, thank you for listening. ShadowForks, thanks a ton for spending your evening with us.
It was great. I'm gonna
and check out his channel, everybody.
Thank
please
you. Check out these guys' podcast if you've never heard of it before. It's called Thought Cops. I heard it's really good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. You're too kind.
Make sure you check it out. Give one of their latest episodes a listen. Like search them up.
I recommend this one.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot where I was. I'm like a senior citizen over here, or like Agent Dale Cooper in season 3 of Twin Peaks. Sorry, spoilers.
You mean Dougie?
New shoes.
New shoes, baby. Anyway, thanks everybody. If you want to support the show, you can do so at patreon.com/thoughtcops. Donate anything you want. You do get some cool stuff for it. Subscribe on Twitch, twitch.tv/thoughtcops. Anything helps, honestly. Anything helps. And we'll love you for it. And what else? Oh yeah, leave a voicemail. You want us to play your voicemail on the show? 312-788-7361. Or you can always leave us an audio file like Yosef did at thoughtcopspodcast@gmail.com. All right, Officer Kevin signing off.
Officer Grant, away.
Officer Danny T, who works in the IT department, is logging off forever.
Oh, no. No, not forever, no.
He's levitating. He just gets sucked into his computer monitor, and he's now code. He's just code now.
He's more man than code now.
He's more code than man.
Code than man.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I can't wait for Short Circuit 3, guys.
And cut.